So I told you guys I'd update you on this shit show. Got about 4 inches, almost 5 on the vehicles and in the grass. But on the driveways, not even an inch. I literally just shoveled it real quick. Nothing. I brushed off the cars though. There was a lot on them. The wife's new Palisade. But yeah. Stop it, you perverts. Okay, if you guys haven't watched the video from yesterday, you definitely should go check that out. And it goes over everything with this new Wright Stander, how I got it, what I paid for it, the whole deal, and some first-time mowing footage of me using it. There will be plenty more to come, as I'm sure you guys can imagine, but we have a few things to address here. So let's get at that. So, this thing's a beast. I absolutely love it. What an awesome machine, and being on this thing yesterday, every time I got on it, I loved it more and more. I definitely need to adjust the height. It's not exactly where I want it yet, but no big deal. I can easily adjust that. It's pitched down pretty drastic right now because I have the spacers moved a lot in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust some spacers back so the front of the mower comes up more, and then I'm just going to move the spacers on the blades themselves to get it at the height I want. Like I mentioned yesterday, not a big deal. If it's ever an extreme case where I really need to move it up or down, I can just move these spacers real easily just by driving one side up on the ramp, taking the pin out, dropping the spindle out, moving the spacer top to bottom, and then drive to the other side of the ramp up there, swap that out. I know it sounds like a lot, but it literally takes less than 2 minutes to do both sides. So but for the most part, 90% of everything I use this machine on, or will use this machine on, gets cut at the same height. So to get it set right about where I want it is going to be ideal. So what do I need to do with this thing? I did order that gas tank I mentioned yesterday's video. I sprayed this with another coat of that rubber Flex Seal stuff last night and let it sit all night long. So is it going to leak? I have no idea. You guys had a bunch of great comments in that video about using the JB weld that's for plastic, things like that. Also many great ideas, and I actually did consider that. But yes, I just had to use what I had to make it happen. But this is actually hardened up real nice now. Yesterday when I sprayed it on and then went mowing, it really didn't have time to set up. So that's probably why I started eating through that stuff. But would it leak now? Who knows? But either way, the new tank is coming. Not the Wright tank. It's an aftermarket one that I found way cheaper, less than a quarter of the cost of the actual Wright tank. But it looks identical. It's the same exact tank. The only difference is instead of the fuel line coming out the bottom and into the fuel filter and then up into this pump, the line comes out the top. Comes out right where that thing is right there. So no big deal. All I'll do is I'll take a piece of fuel line and run it from there into the fuel filter, which will be right about here, and then right into the fuel pump. No big deal. Nice and simple. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have a whole ton of fuel line right there. So nice and simple. And then I'll have a brand new tank on here and it'll do everything I need it to do. So the other thing, this here needs to come off. That's on deck for today. And the power shoe is going to come off this machine and go on here. I'm not sure yet if that plate is big enough to cover this hole. I think this hole might be a little bit bigger than that skag, but I was looking at it yesterday and I thought it might be a little bigger. But now when I got them so close to each other and looking, really might not be off by that much. It actually might be the same. But if not, I already talked to Alex and he's going to get me the correct size door that I need if this one doesn't work. But I think it actually will. So got to get that switched over. The only other issue I found with this, well, let me just cover real quick the last few things we're going to do. So maintenance today. We're going to get those spacers moved, get the front of this deck brought back up because it's sitting pretty angled like a 70s street car. And we're going to get that switched back up, the spacers moved, so I have it at the right height that I want it cut at. The tank's not in yet. It'll be in the next couple days. We're going to get this deflector off here so the power chute can go on there. I'm going to change the fuel filter today because that needs done. And then I'm going to change the oil on it because that needs done. The only other issue I ran into on this machine, this is a super thin piece of foam that they put on these, and that bar's there, and I notice when I stand and I lean against, this thing is really hitting my shins, and it's like there's no padding in there at all. There's like nothing. So it is very uncomfortable, that thing hitting your shins. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and I grabbed some of this poly foam pipe insulation, which is a lot thicker, and if I have to, I will just double it. And I'm going to put it over top of there. If I need to, I will just put a couple zip ties in there to hold it so it doesn't come off, and that'll give me a lot more foam there. So it's not so uncomfortable. But other than that, this thing's ready to go. I have one more piece of maintenance I need to do to the X-Mark. These are all new caster anti-scalp wheels with the bushings and the bolts that need to go on. Where the heck is that mower? Oh, it's over here. So it needs to go on here. Some of these are in all right shape, but they're, they're kind of worn down. This one here, it's worn down on the inside. They're really not in that bad a shape, but I'm going to take these off and use these as backups, and I'm going to put brand new ones on there. So, got 1, 2, 3. They sent me 4. I didn't know if there was 4 on this deck or not. Looks like there's only 3. So I'm going to replace these 3 here with the new ones. And then those 2 machines both need decks scraped and blades sharpened. And that's about it for maintenance today. Oh, I got to put the regular chute deflector back on this so that when the weather does get nice again, I can clean this up and that's ready to be sold. Let's take a look outside. See how unglorious it looks out here. Yeah, that sucks. And just like that, nice and simple, the deck is now up higher in the front, so I'm not digging in or scraping into anything. Has a much better stance. It's still sloped down a little bit because that's the way it's supposed to be. but the blades are now cutting at the height that I want them to cut at. I can actually bring the front up even more. If I take that last spacer that I have on top and put that down on the bottom, it'll bring the front end up even more. Or you can also undo the bolts on those front forks and you can adjust it that way too. So a lot of different adjustment points to get it right where you want it, but all of them are super simple to do. Bam! Hell yeah! Nice and easy, doggy. So it fit right on there, no problem. Good thing this is flat back here and not open all the way back to there. Otherwise it wouldn't have been long enough, but the way that's designed, perfect fit from there over to there. So this one I went with a toggle switch. I was going to do a foot pedal, but it's very small back here. There's not a lot of space. And I was actually thinking about mounting it right there. And now when I'm riding, I could just kind of like kick it there or kick there, you know? But I don't know. It's super simple with a toggle switch. I like the switch in here. So nice and easy. Went with that. That's all done. So now we have to fire this up, let it run for a little bit. I'm going to change the oil, and then I'm going to see if I have spark plugs for this thing. I know I got a whole ton up there for different mowers. I think I probably have the ones for this. So, but I know I have the stuff to do the oil and filter, so we'll do that next. But what time is it? 10:12? It's 10 o'clock Union coffee break. So that's what I'm doing. Well, this one's nice and easy to change oil in. It's all just right there. Freaking, as long as you got a nice little piece of hose. I always keep this piece of hose. I went to the hardware store years ago and got this thing. And it's the perfect size. It fits right on these fittings. A lot of the newer mowers now all come with hoses on them to run down. A lot of the older ones don't. So it's just always good to have it. So I just pop it on there, run it right down into the pan here, and break this free. These are always 10 millimeter. It doesn't matter what the mower is. They're all the same. They're all 10 millimeter. But I can get right in there with this 1/4" drive ratchet, 10 mil, broke it free. Start this thing up, let it run for about 15 minutes. Got the oil nice and hot. And yeah, drain that oil right out of there. I'm going to let it sit there and just keep on running for a while and drain every bit of it out of there. I'll pop that filter off. Another little trick. These oil filters and all these engines, they always have this little like lip right there. And it catches oil and it runs down, drains all over. I can't even tell you where I got it. Years ago, I got this little aluminum pan thing. I think it's like some type of cooking or baking dish. And somebody told me they seen me use it in one of my videos in the past, and they said you can get them at the Dollar Tree for $1. One of the best things I ever got. It's super simple, low profile. I can stick it right in there, unscrew the filter. The little bit of oil that comes out there drains into this pan. Put the new one on, no mess. That's the way to do it. So, I got the original deflector back on there. I blew it off real good with the air gun. I got most of the grass off of it. And I just took a whole bunch of pictures. So, going up for sale. I don't know. I haven't decided on a price yet. I'll figure it out. I already know I'm going to take a hit on it. But I'm going to try not to get beat up too bad. If I can't even get close to what I want, then I'm just going to sit on it. And it can stay here. I'm definitely not going to give it away. Man, it got cold in here today. It wasn't that cold all morning. I was working here. And then all of a sudden it started getting real cold. It got colder outside. But I got to talking a good friend of mine, actually somebody that worked for me for a number of years, is back in town from Texas. And he stopped by the shop and we just got to shooting the shit for a few hours. And it was really, really good to see him. So anyway, let's see what we got accomplished today. I did get the V-blade off the truck and back into here. So now it's back here with the straight blade. That is where it can sit. I highly doubt we'll get any more snow. I'm glad I didn't end up having to use it. But I did take another piece of that foam, put it on here, a couple zip ties. I didn't make them super tight. I want it to be able to move a little bit. So that will provide me more padding on there. Hopefully that'll work. The battery terminals were a little corroded, so when I had to wire in for the power chute, I took them off, cleaned them, put them back together. Everything's good to go on there. The Skag. So this is back to its current state. I just blew it off real quick and got the little bit of grass off it. Here is the original grass deflector that came on it. So this is how it is. This is how it's going to be for sale with the weight kit on it, the brand new 2-wheel Jungle Gym Velky on there, and stock grass deflector on there. Like I said, 2.9 hours are on this machine, and I already put the ad up on Facebook Marketplace to list it. Cross-posted it on 3 different other places. We will see what happens. So, the price on that, what do I want for it? I put it on there at $4,500 firm. With tax, everything included, I paid $51 for it, or $52. And then the weight kit I put on there, that really didn't cost me anything, but the 2-wheel Velky cost me $250. So, $4,500 firm. That's what I have on it. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm going to take a hit on it. There's really nothing I can do. It was a mistake on my part. Unfortunately, one that's going to cost me money. But I'm not going to completely lose my ass on it. If people don't want to give me what I want, then I'm just going to hang on to it. And maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. Either way, I'm not letting it go for any less than $4,500. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll sell, maybe it won't. But the road is already drying up. Let's see what it looks like outside. So, bunch of snow out there. Snow on the enclosed trailer. This is already getting dry. Left me a huge puddle over there. I'm gonna have to get some stone, some millings. I know a guy that has some to fill in this low area over here. I got some low areas here, but the road's already drying up. Sky doesn't look too promising. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what it's going to be. Tomorrow's supposed to be in the high 40s with rain, so that rain will melt. The rest of the snow, whatever, doesn't melt tonight. And then Friday is supposed to be high 50s with no rain. And then I think the same Saturday, Sunday. And the next week's in the 60s again. So will I get to finish this week's mowing? I don't know. Maybe not. Definitely not tomorrow. But Saturday or Friday, we might be able to go out and do some mowing again. I have 5 left or 6 left for my Wednesday list. And then I have all Thursdays and Fridays. Will I get to mow them? I don't know. It would be nice, but probably not going to happen. We'll see. But that's about it for today. I just wanted to film some stuff on the maintenance I was doing on this Wright Stander. Update you guys on the snow, because a lot of you guys said you did get a bunch and it melted right away. States that were before me, so you would have got snow before me. And that's it. So nothing real interesting in today's video, but I wanted to update you guys on that stuff and then show you what I wanted to do with that Wright Stander. So that's it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.